Hey everybody, welcome back. We are doing some history of home free reaction. We are getting ready to listen to part 7, the final episode of this series that Chris Rupp did. And we kind of jumped back to, I forget his name. Is it Matt? Is one of the three original founders. Chris, Adam, and I think his name is Matt, but I'm not positive on that. It actually says in the video, doesn't it? Matt. I remembered correctly. Yay! so, so we're going to go ahead and finish up this series and kind of go from there. This released about a month ago, so I am late getting to it, but I want to see how they wrap up everything. When you're moving slow, it feels like more. Welcome back for the finale.
Thinking before stuff, any particular stories that you want to tell from your times that stand out?
Favorite story. So that's kind of where we started with the other one too. It was towards the beginning. So kind of ties in together.
Like I was really impressed with all y'all's showmanship right away.
I think that comes through even.
Well, I think that says a lot considering Tim's showmanship. If you've ever seen any of the live footage at all, his wit, his heckling the hecklers, and not even the hecklers, but just messing with the crowd. Tim is very much a showman and very good at it. So for him to say that to Chris, I think is a huge compliment.
We had it down to a science already, whereas half of those groups were put together for the show, so they were still like.
That's true too. You hear that in interviews. Pentatonics was that way. They came together for the show, and you can hear how much better Pentatonics is now compared to during the show. You can hear the improvement with the technicality and all that kind of stuff. And when you've already got it going into the show, that does put you a foot above the rest. I think most of the fans knew right off the bat if Home Free didn't win, something was wrong. So I know I thought that when I watched the show. I started watching, I think I've said this story already, but I started watching the sing off because of the group On the Rocks. I had seen a viral video for Viral back then of them doing Lady Gaga's Bad Romance. And I didn't realize it was from the show until I'd seen a couple more things and then got interested in the show. And then I I watched the show with Home Free on it. I remember them from that, but I don't remember a lot about that season because it was just so long ago. I didn't even remember what songs Home Free had done when I went back and watched it, getting back into Home Free again. But yeah, you could tell a marked difference with them.
We were asleep at like 9 p.m. Remember that? Yeah. And some of those poor kids would stay up all night long and not sleep the night before a competition, and they have the producers breathing down their neck like, no, I don't like how you're doing it.
Yeah,
They'd be.
Yeah, it's rough. I didn't mention this in the last one, but the competition stuff, Hell's Kitchen. They talk about how rough it is, and it's purposely rough. It's purposely stressful. They have very long days and very little sleep, and part of that is to get people to spout off sooner, or that kind of stuff, so they get some good TV. But oh, what did he say? He said something short-term memory loss, and it's not due to pot. Oh, when he said these poor kids, I chuckle because they were those kids also, even though they were an established group. But now, us being the age that we are, because I'm about similar age as Tim, I believe. I think I might be. I think I'm still older than Tim, but um, not by too much, I don't think. But I think Tim is the oldest of the group right now. But at any rate, I chuckle with him saying these kids because back then they were the kids also. But Yeah, when you look back at it, they were kids. They're kids. That's exactly what they are, even though they're young adults.
I had the best time of my life. I'm so glad that we did it, but I would never do reality TV ever again because of that experience. Like, it was so worth it, but I will never do it again.
Between that and Big Time RV, I don't know what to believe anymore.
Oh man.
Big Time RV. I don't know if I've seen that or not. I do know that they joke about the hotel room being not being the RV. So,
On like audience interaction, and it was like played it sort of safe.
Sure, yeah.
Wasn't ever like I have
Tim does
a
not play
completely
it safe.
abusive relationship with my audience. How you guys doing? And some guy from the audience yells, "It's too loud," and I just said, "You're too old."
And you know, we're all sitting beside each other,
Yeah.
and we were both like,
Yeah.
"Ugh,"
And I hear the
no one
oxygen
laughed.
leave the stage. I hear gasps from you guys. I look over and Rob's just staring at his shoe.
I'm like,
And I was like,
but the funny thing is it worked. It worked because he's being him. He was being Tim.
now that's just how it is. Now, now if there's like a heckler, they're like, go get him.
like, you can have it.
Yeah. Catchphrases accidentally becoming a thing where audience members just like yell out stuff,
Yeah.
Two things, let Austin rap, Yeah.
It's hard to do the impromptu things in my opinion. For my dad's retirement, we did a roast, and it wasn't immediately after his retirement. He didn't want to do anything immediately. So it was still less than a year, but it was several months after he had already retired. And dad does not like surprises, so he knew we were doing the roast. I got his permission to do it and everything. But I was hosting it. I was introducing the next speaker and all that kind of stuff. And so I'm trying to be funny, but it just doesn't always work out. I did have to speak off script a couple of times. The attorney that was speaking for us, he knew two of the three jokes that I was telling. So if I'll put that in here.
The other thing most of you know is that he thinks of himself as a genius. The first computer he got my sister and I while we were in high school, one of those monochrome computers, the old dinosaur ones. Nick, you have no idea what I'm talking about. But I was messing around on it, and I don't know where you had put it. I don't know how I came across it. But there was a file that had the sentence, "Her dad is a genius."
I think that was the screensaver.
Somewhere on the computer. But if you were such a genius, you wouldn't have gotten married the first time, much less the second time. You wouldn't have had kids, or at least only me. You would have retired sooner if you were a genius. And you wouldn't have agreed to a roast.
But yeah, it's tough for me, at least personality wise, because I don't have the personality of that confidence that you have to exert. And so and especially when you're supposed to be funny and you're not, I think it's really tough. But Tim does it great. Austin and Rob, they go with the flow. Adam and Chance just kind of sit in the background for the most part with most of the stuff I've seen. Chris would usually sit in the background and just let them do the do the stuff and just have fun with it, which it worked. So,
I was definitely gonna tell the one about Tim that he just told. So because that was kind of stuck. Because I was like, oh shit. Because that wasn't the only time that happened. You know.
There's so many stories.
After my first tour with you guys, whenever I left you guys, and
something's on the lens and it's bothering me.
Or just like how if someone tells a joke and it doesn't go well, and Rob just loves it, and so therefore I love it. The best thing is when you get Rob laughing on stage, like really laughing.
I also learned the hard way, it's like if you start getting the giggles, like suppressed laughter is the worst, we've all experienced that in church. It's just like snowballs, but I I just remember like being on the verge of losing it. I'm like, don't look at him, don't look at him, don't look at him. And I looked over and like, yeah, you see Rob's shoulders going. And I remember you going, someday I'll find me a woman. Really, guys? And that's how the song ended. And we didn't bother explaining it to the audience. Yeah, that was definitely something that I'd never experienced up to that point, and thankfully never again.
Oh my God.
Well, they managed to get through Memory Lapse, Colder Weather Memory Lapse. I think that's what it's titled. They managed to get through that without stopping, but they had the giggles, definitely.
But it was like, we got the call that was like, hey, Kenny Rogers wants to work with you guys. But the reason that stands out in my mind so much is because we were in Hosanna Lutheran Church at the time, rehearsing the Butts medley. Yeah, we were singing about butts in a church, so it's a very memorable moment for me.
That's still one of my favorite projects we've ever done.
Everybody like adds to every arrangement no matter what. Like we rarely tell Adam what to do. It's like, all right, here's what we're gonna do.
Unless it's too far.
Yeah, you do whatever. You're maybe less animal noises, but other than that, it's pretty good. But then on the crew side of things, some real interesting individuals.
I mean, obviously our mind goes to Johnny F. Right?
Oh, he takes the
Johnny
cake.
is one of my favorite people ever.
Ever.
Seattle or Denver, or one of those cities with lax laws, and
With lax laws.
I looked up in the tree, and I knew how this would play out. So immediately, I just nudged Johnny, and I point, and he goes, "I want that!" And about 10 minutes later, he had it, because he had climbed the tree.
I tell people that all the time. I'm like, just keep going.
It's like
I learned
Johnny's
that from
infection.
Chris.
Keep going.
No matter
keep
what
going.
you think, no matter what other people think, if you're enjoying it, keep going. Just keep going.
We never saw that coming.
We never saw that coming. That we did that as an afterthought because we needed something extra, and you had the arrangement done.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Let's
none
put
of
it on
us.
the Christmas CD.
I know. They're almost done. What fun. It was cool to hear all the different stories and the struggles and the ups and downs and everything all around. So, Purdy's getting impatient. She wants me to hold her, as you may have heard her. She's like, hold me, damn it. You gonna say bye to everybody? You gonna tell them bye? She goes, Mommy, this hurts. Now she's pulling my shirt down. Paint stain and all. I got a paint stain right there. Thank you all for joining me on this one. I'll see you on the next one. And I don't know if we'll get any more histories about any of the others, but as the other bands that I tend to listen to, but I will definitely see you for more music reactions in the future. So thank you for joining me on this one. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.